Okay, so the issue I found is with the buses. The CPU seems to get stuck processing. In theory, dynamic processing is supposed to work the way it does here on audio tracks. See if I take whatever 25 audio tracks here, put Chroma on it, run these tracks through Chroma, you're going to see that the processor does not even get hit until audio comes through. Then when there's a blank spot in the audio, the processor turns off, therefore allowing people to use the processor for other purposes such as virtual instruments or just other reverbs and other CPU intensive plugins. So let's hit play. We'll see what happens here. Okay, you see it's up to whatever 20%-ish. Takes about 4 bars or so. I'm not sure how many seconds or how it's actually calculated, but there it goes. It's gone. No more processing. So we can use the processors for something else until it hits audio again, and then starts processing again. And the cycle continues. I hit stop, and it stops processing, stops hurting my CPU. Now the issue is when you then bus these, so I'm now going to bus whatever my vocal stacks, my guitars, snare drums, whatever it is, I'm going to bus them to reverbs and such. So they're all getting bussed here. Let's just pick 25 of these. Turn Chrome on, so it's the same exact processing. You can see it's already, just by turning them on, it came on. It's now hitting the processor. It's now sucking life out of my machine. For what reason? I have no friggin' idea. So I got to hit play for a second, and then stop, and then it normally can go away. There it goes. Now it's gone. So this is it through the buses that are supposed to save us on CPU usage. Okay. So it should stop processing about here, but it's not. The CPU is still getting taxed. Yep, still getting taxed. Nothing we can do about it there. Hit stop, and I'm still getting taxed on the CPU. And this goes if I have 50 of these Chromas on my buses or 100 of them or whatever I have. If it's at 50% or 75%, it'll stay at 75%. And it will not release the processors until I hit play during a blank spot and stop. Like that. And now it's off. Excuse the dock jumping thing. That's I'm on a weird screen and I don't normally have the it's set to 1920 by 1080, but I do for this video. So if we add Chroma to like 50 tracks, so we got 50 Chromas. Like someone would ever use 50 Chromas, they wouldn't, but it's a good test. Okay, you would hope this would stop at some point and free up my CPU. Please free up my CPU. Nope, it won't do it. Now my CPU is getting cooked right now, or over 25%. I hit stop once. If I didn't know, if I wasn't watching my processor, I wouldn't even know this is happening in the background. So if I opened up Chrome or some other stuff, I'd really be taxing my system. Until again, I'm going to hit play and then stop. Play, stop. There we go. That clears it up. And another issue is, or another thing I wanted to show you was the preferences. Sorry, I had a hard drive spin up. It just caused the system to slow down. Okay. Preferences, general. This is the way I was running the test. I was just testing how many tracks I could get, how much processing before my system crapped out. 128 is a buffer size I can deal with when I'm tracking. Some people can't. I've tried all different settings here. I've tried just the playback tracks. I've tried 32-bit. I've tried rewire behavior. I've tried the buffer sizes. I've tried everything. I've tried what's it called? The latency compensation Logic uses. I can't figure out why it's getting stuck. Why this processor gets stuck on. Excuse my fumbling around with Logic too. This is totally a new program to me. Okay, so there it is. I hit stop. And it doesn't stop. It just goes on. It just keeps going on and on and on. Everybody kind of knows the way it's supposed to work. Got the same exact thing set up here in Pro Tools. Should be able to see here. Go away, Doc. Got a bunch of tracks, 128 tracks or so, which is a downfall of this, is because I'm only allowed this many tracks, this many voices. Logic would allow a lot more than that. Not that I need that many, but it's nice to have the option. So they're all sending out to Verb 1. That's just a bus. Here's my returns, bus returns. I got Relab on these, so it's a pretty CPU intensive processor. And they're all feeding it. So when I hit play on this, it should do the same exact thing. You can see it's taxing the processor. Then it goes away, waits for more audio. And it comes back on when there's more audio, so that's good. So when it's working here, it's going to be on. If I have a big break in the song, if there's no reverb through here, it wouldn't even be hitting my system at all. It wouldn't be hitting the CPU. It might come on back at the end or something when I use those reverbs. Of course, I've never used 50 reverbs at the same time, but it's just an analogous for other processors. You may have, 6 reverbs, 6 delays, some choruses, a flanger on something, some saturation plugins. Who knows what it could be? But on the Logic system there, it was just, it wouldn't. It's still not released. I didn't even see. I went to the Pro Tools and I didn't even realize that this is killing 25% of my CPU. Let's take a look. So Logic has hit me here with 173%, and Pro Tools with 54. So I started running Pro Tools and I realized Logic was smacking me so hard with CPU usage. And I'm doing the damn test. So anyway, look into it. If there's a button I missed, just tell me I'm an idiot and tell me to click the button that fixes this issue. Thanks a lot.